Hi guys, welcome back to another training update. The last time we updated you all on Alex's Mustang, the Chestnut, she was just eating out of Alex's hand. I'm happy to say that she's come a long way since then, as you'll see in this video. Keiko, the black horse, is alive and well, but because it's been so long since we've updated on either of these horses, we are going to be making two separate videos, so stay tuned next week for Keiko's update. Because it has been so long, I wanted to give you a little recap. Alex is using Dr. Patricia Barrow-Eirich's Mustang taming method that utilizes mostly positive reinforcement. I have Dr. Patricia's websites and YouTube channel linked in the description box. I'd also like to reiterate that none of these videos are tutorials, so if you decide to train using any method pictured here, do so at your own risk, and I suggest consulting with the creator of the program. Without further ado, let's get to the video. Psst, you're going to want to turn the volume up because Alex talks really quietly. And my mic didn't pick it up very well.
A lot of sitting on the ground and then sitting on my knees and then squatting and then standing on the outside of the panel and just waiting and waiting and waiting. And 2 months later, she came up to me and it was magical. I eventually got her to take food out of my hand outside of the panel, but then it took multiple weeks and she still wasn't proficient in that. She still wouldn't consistently come up to the panel and take food. So I posted a question in a Facebook group, a positive reinforcement Facebook group. A woman commented and gave me an idea, which was to, when she just looked at me, to drop the food. And then she took a couple steps towards me, drop the food, and then walk away. And then eventually she was so curious that she wanted to get closer and closer. And so honestly, I was super discouraged because it took us, I kid you not, 2 months of working every day, mostly twice a day, to get her to finish task 1 in like the program that we're doing. If we didn't have Keiko, who was like going through the task, I would have thought that this program was crazy and it just wasn't going to work whatsoever, not at all. It's interesting because Keiko went super fast through the first task. And so I thought that the Chestnut would maybe take 2 months for every task, which is not okay because she's in a tiny pen and she needs her feet done. But she has been progressing a little bit faster, so that's good. It really was just that first task that was really difficult for her, and the first task was getting over the initial fear of humans. That's probably been the hardest part recently, is like getting over the fear of working with her in the pen. I'd say we've moved past that, but at first it was her being so fearful that she didn't even, want to come up to me. So I couldn't really do anything until she was interested in me, at least with this method, with not using pressure and release. So it's interesting because at first, if you would have asked me what she was like, I would have said aggressive and fearful and scared and reactive. And so, but now, almost 3 months later, I have a little bit different idea, or like a different description of what she is like. She's a lot more calm, and she's actually more energy conserving, and she enjoys, working and training, which I would not have said at all at the beginning. So we're finally kind of seeing her real personality, whereas before we were seeing really just her fear. And so that came out as personality traits that I thought, but actually they're all wrong. So, and I still don't think we quite have witnessed her true personality yet. So it'll be fun to see what she kind of turns into, what kind of horse she turns into. But as you'll see in the video, she's really great. Like, the wind is blowing crazy and there's tarps blowing around, or the paneling that we used is blowing around, and she is calm as a cucumber. So I do think that that's the direction she's headed. We finished task 11, which is grooming all over her body, which you can see in the video. So task 12 is fly spray, and we're working on that run right now. So that's technically almost halfway through the program. However, there's a couple issues. So the program's taking longer than my human expectations are, and that was that she was going to, really, I thought she would be able to be starting saddle training in 3 months. And we're at the 3 months, and she's not even halfway through the program. that's okay. I'm okay with that, her training taking longer. But there's two problems that we do have with her training taking longer. And one is that her pen is too small. We want to get her out of there as fast as possible, just for her well-being. But then the second is her feet. As you will see in the video, her feet are pretty bad, and her feet were really bad when we got her 3 months ago. So they were super long, so you can imagine they're even more long. And so it's really important that we can get her feet done and get her out of the pen, or make her pen bigger, which is what we are hoping to do. So we can solve her pen problem by buying more panels, and then we can solve her feet problem by jumping forward in the task to task 25. So task 25 is picking out feet and then teaching them how to get their feet done. So that's what we are working on, because it's imperative that a farrier comes out and works on her feet. And I thought that skipping all the tasks would be a problem, but it actually is very practical, and she's doing a pretty good job. Getting her feet done and opening up the pen would allow me to work through the rest of the task without compromising her health and her safety. So I was actually surprised that she was so calm starting to teach her task 25. She doesn't really care that much about her feet being touched, and she's very willing to move her body over and lift up her leg, which was kind of shocking, because her first couple tasks I thought that she was aggressive and she was dangerous and all these things. Through these 11 or 12 tasks, she's proven to be a lot more calm. And as you can see in the video, it's through a panel, so she feels definitely more calm through the panel, but you can see that she's, again, like really chill, and she doesn't mind her feet being picked up, which is really cool, because it shows that all of that work did pay off and is doing something, and is helping us build a better relationship. So in the next couple weeks, I'm really looking forward to teaching her how to get her feet done, hopefully getting a farrier out, hopefully naming her. I do want suggestions, so yeah, if anyone has a good one, put it in the comments.
You're so good at this.
There's a lot of exciting things. When training is going well, it's really exciting. And that's where I'm at right now. Super excited.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for Keiko's update next week. We'll see you in the next one.
Okay, Keiko always tries to steal the spotlight. She cannot help but get in the middle of the camera every time. She's like Xena. That's so funny.